Good morning, beautiful people. You're welcome to the sports segment of the weekend show, and I'm Ayo Adams, and we'll be walking you through some of the biggest headlines across the world of football, in particular the Cristiano Ronaldo exclusive interview with Piers Morgan, how Nigeria lost to Portugal in Lisbon in a thrashing, and we'll do group stages analysis. First of all, I also have a guest in the studio. I have Daniel Chris returning back to the studio. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning.
And I think we'll run right straight into it, and the Cristiano Ronaldo interview. First of all, the snippets broke off earlier last week, and then finally we got to see from the snippets. We particularly got to see the range of discussions that happened. But subsequently, when it dropped Thursday, Friday, we saw the lengthy interview and how Cristiano Ronaldo went hard on a couple of people, namely Eric Ten Hag, Ralf Rangnick, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the young players, the Glazers. I mean, there was a lot of outcry from people.
Yeah.
But where do you stand on this ballot? Was he right to say what he had said? One. Two, was he right, and was this the wrong timing? Because particularly if you look at some of the details he had given out, they were not lies. Obviously, the Manchester United development. So, I mean, give us your detailed, honest view about the interview.
So I was going to hope I would start with a soft landing question, but since you brought the Ronaldo thing, that's okay. So this is the hard truth. It is very hard to be objective sometimes.
Okay.
Especially when you love the person in question. I mean, Ronaldo is my GOAT, that's not news, but what he said, a lot of it is very true, and he's not the first to say it. Louis van Gaal said it, Jose Mourinho said it, Alexis Sanchez, and a lot more. The problem is how you go about it, and the fact that you did some things that are unfair, still being a member of the club. First of all, you want to grant a Manchester interview, and it's Piers Morgan. Really?
The same Piers Morgan that called him out a couple of years ago.
Do you understand? So, I mean, when you go to the direct opposition to grant such interview, you know what you're headed at. You really want to slander the club. And like I said earlier, he said a lot of things that are true. I mean, a club that has not progressed in, amenities and all of that in over a decade, that's not progression.
Sure.
Then that's my first problem is you going to Piers Morgan. Secondly, I don't respect the coach.
That was a bad one, yeah. That was a light on
Come on, you're not the only one in the team. How do you even say that? Now, this is a man who has basically protected you from the media, even if you guys have rancor, backstage. But this man has shaded you from the media right from the last game of the preseason against Rayo Vallecano.
Where you walked out.
Where you walked out. And the man was like, he's not the only one. Don't go for him. Talking about what he said about the young players. So he says Dalot, his countryman, will go far.
But the rest of them?
Come on, it could be true, but for the sake of progression and life, there are ways to go about things. So what do you want to tell players like Rashford, who are in the same team with you, Garnacho, Bruno, your countryman?
It kills their confidence, basically, when
you understand?
such things happen.
I agreed to a whole lot of things he said as regards the Glazers, the management. His issue with Ralf Rangnick, I don't want to go there because I'm personally a fan of Rangnick.
Okay.
I think he went too far. So.
Wow. So finally, on the Cristiano Ronaldo saga, you've given us your detailing about it. Do you think now, a couple of days after the interview came out, we saw the Glazers pull Manchester United pulling down his mural. Not just only him, Cantona. So I think probably they are done with the number 7 promotion at the club. So do you think the legend Ronaldo, the one that everyone knew, the young fidgeting boy on the streets, who won the Ballon d'Or, do you think he has dented his legacy at United?
Are you purposely wrapping this question so that you hurt me? Well, I think the moment he released that Piers Morgan uncensored interview, he knew what was going to happen. So I don't know what kind of coincidence it is that just after the interview, the morals of the 7...
What a coincidence.
I don't know. I'm going to blame it on coincidence. So I don't know what that is, but all of a sudden it happened. I think he has played his last game for Manchester United.
Where do you see him after the World Cup?
I don't see Ronaldo going to a top-tier Champions League competing team at the moment if he's going to leave in January. But I think his World Cup has a lot of role to play. I mean, if he goes far in the World Cup and scores goals, who wouldn't want the Cristiano? He's still Ronaldo. But
still Ronaldo.
Personally, I see, if I'm going to guess, maybe an Inter Miami or something.
All right. Which is one thing he has been clearly avoiding, to go to a team that's not top tier in world football. Well, we moved from Ronaldo to Nigeria. The Super Eagles of Nigeria played a pre-friendly game with Portugal in Lisbon, and they got crazily beaten 4-0. A lot of Nigerians disappointed, myself included. I know you were. You share, Mr. Andy also shares, that hurt about Nigeria losing 4-0.
Yeah.
But particularly we see look at a team like Spain, who the coach defied the odds and went along with youngsters because they trusted them, and not just because of trust, because these youngsters clearly have shown that they are worthy of putting on their national team shirt.
Yeah, sure.
Now, the Nigerian footballers, a couple of days ago, put on those jerseys, radiant looking. And I think one thing it did clearly do was a lot of people kept saying, if Nigeria had made it to the World Cup, what would have happened? If Nigeria made it to the World Cup, what would have happened? But it didn't happen. And that match clearly stated to Nigerians that if we made it to the World Cup, was this how we were going to perform? From that performance, the 4-0, Bruno Fernandes had 2 goals, Gonzalo Ramos, João Mario, and Dennis came on, blatantly refused a direct order from his coach, his captain, took a penalty and lost it, which would have brought Nigeria back into the game. Where is the Super Eagles? Are you glad that we didn't go to the World Cup?
Well, I don't think this started from the Portugal match. If you sadly experienced the Nigeria-Ghana match here in Abuja,
yeah, we watched it live.
You could see that there is a bridge that needs to be, closed. I'm not glad we didn't go to the World Cup because look at Senegal landing in Qatar, Ghana landing in Qatar.
We would have made a lot of noise.
And being that we have our stars in the World Cup team song, it hurt me a lot. I felt bad about it, but I think I don't want to be in the World Cup and I'm coming back with this kind of results.
Yeah.
Because I don't see the new person that have come into the team. I see the same squad I would have.
Do you think that these players are too confident that they will never lose their shirt in the team?
I think there is not stiff competition enough. For example, so you want to win a match, you're certain Aribo is going to play, you're certain Osimhen is going to play.
Simon.
So I don't see that stiff competition. But if you look at the global football, you see Nigerian boys doing crazy things away from
whenever they come home.
I don't know. I think there's a problem in-house.
We'll leave it at that and go straight to the World Cup. The FIFA World Cup kicks off in Qatar tomorrow and means the range of speculations, controversy, and fan experience limitations. Despite all the political uproar around the first ever World Cup held in the Middle East part of the continent, the quest for glory will begin. The stars will look to shine, the experienced veterans such as Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, playing their 5th World Cup would want to bow out with global glory in their country's colors. Diego Godin, Kevin De Bruyne, Sergio Busquets, Luka Modric will all look to give it another run, while the sensational youngsters seek to cement their praises as the next crop of footballing talent. The African outfit, for the very first time in this competition history, will see all the African countries coached by their countrymen. The Black Stars of Ghana will look to shine with Otto Addo at the summit. The Atlas Lions of Morocco will roar with Walid Regrago at the helm of affairs. The Indomitable Lions are chaperoned by their legend Rigobert Song, while the Eagles of Carthage will flap their Tunisian wing with head coach Jalil Kadri. And the reigning Teranga Lions of Africa and Senegal will be led by their veteran coach Aliou Cisse. First of all, let's start with the African teams in the World Cup. Senegal are in Group A, and their first match will be against Netherlands. And we have Morocco in Group F with Belgium, Canada, and Croatia. We have Cameroon in Group G, and we have Ghana in Group H. Tunisia also in Group D with France, Australia, and Denmark. Let's look at these teams. Look at these brilliant teams that have successfully made it to the World Cup. Did you give any African team any chance in this World Cup?
I was going to a week ago. I was going to give Senegal a very big chance. Their group is not that stiff for them. Knowing what they've done in
with
African,
Qatar, Ecuador, and Netherlands.
Exactly.
Are they favorites though?
No, they're not favorites. There's a Louis van Gaal team there. So.
Okay.
But I was not going to see the host country breaking out from that group.
That's Qatar.
Yeah, I was not going to see them breaking out from that group.
Okay. And there's been speculations that Qatar have been speculations.
Yeah.
They've been involved in bribing certain players.
Well, yeah, it's alleged, but I don't want to have on factual statements.
Yeah, true.
But other than that, Senegal should try. I think Morocco is, you see what Adi is doing with Tunisia, so you can't write them fully off.
What of Cameroon? Cameroon have Choupo-Moting, the best player from the last tournament, Abubakar Vincent. Don't you give them a chance to?
Cameroon is a
They're
very
in the
good.
same group with Brazil. They are in the same group with Brazil, Serbia, and Switzerland.
That was why.
That's tough.
My next statement was going to be, can you call the other clubs and the other countries in the group?
Yeah, Brazil,
So
Serbia, and
Brazil,
Switzerland.
which actually is my favorite to win the World Cup
Oh, wow,
for
okay.
public consumption, is there. And I don't know, this thing Switzerland's been doing lately, I
They
feel
always perform in the World
yes,
Cup.
that's what I mean. They lost the friendly to
They're just a mere friendly.
yeah, but it doesn't really matter. I feel like Brazil and Switzerland have an edge on the group, but you never know. I mean, these black boys are.
You never know. But so let's go to the GOATs. Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. Messi houses a team of Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland in Group C. And Cristiano Ronaldo houses Ghana, Uruguay, and South Korea in Group H, which some people dub to be one of the strongest group in the tournament. Do you think this is the time for any one of them to lift this prestigious trophy, which will cement their global, you know, precedence as the greatest of all time?
So when you started the World Cup segment, you first called the name Lionel Messi. I saw what you did. Okay. Well, looking at these two people, so you see Argentina stand like I'm really convinced it's going to be a South American team carrying the World Cup. I don't know why I feel
That's
so.
going to be a change.
Yeah, I really have that nudge, but the Argentina and Poland for me, they're the two countries coming out of the World Cup. Because I mean, look at Argentina, except that they lost Korea just a few days ago. They are a very good team. Then the Portugal group. That group is really dicey because Uruguay. Meanwhile, shout out to Uruguay. I think their team announcement was
really
the best.
was really great.
It was crazy. If there's an award for that, I think it's best.
Yeah.
So I think Uruguay is going to give a fight. Ghana would push. Ghana have this spirit when they get to those competing, especially knowing that Nigeria is not there.
Yeah.
So they have the jollof edge. You know, I really hope for all is what that Ronaldo go, because I'm sure this is definitely going to be their last World Cup, two of them.
Yeah.
Except they want to play till they're 41. I don't know why.
We'll wait to see that. We'll wait to see that. Well, we've been discussing the World Cup group stages with Daniel Chris. And I mean, finally, Daniel, who do you think, which young player, just single out one young player that would think will perform excellently in this World Cup? I mean, if you want to give you options.
Yeah, give me
Pedri, Bellingham, Tchouaméni, Saka, Musiala.
Pedri was your first call. You're a Barca fan. I was going to say Musiala, but I think Bellingham is going to do good with the English team, especially if he has Kevin Phillips doing or Henderson doing the good work. I think Bellingham he's not just a sensation, he's this playmaker that makes work easier for the attackers. So I really see him doing a lot. Or I think Paqueta too.
Okay.
Yeah, Paqueta, I mean, he's something else when he's playing in front of two or one very good.
All right, then. All right. Thank you, Daniel. And I mean, if you hear Daniel said it, if you're also watching, to let us know who you think will be, the top players from the World Cup, will be it the veterans in the World Cup or the youngsters in the World Cup. But then, when